Check this out. This is with Crush bypassed. And then engaged. In this video, I want to take a look at our brand new plugin here, which is called CR1, which is short for Crush 1, and it lives up to this name. The name already gives it away. This is not a subtle plugin by any means, okay? This is a heavy compression and a heavy saturation tool that you can use to add a ton of character and energy to your sound. And in this video, I want to show you a couple examples of that, but be warned, it's gonna be heavy, okay? So like I said, this is a heavy plugin, yeah? So the plugin itself is simple. We only got two main functions here. We got Crush and Dirt. When it comes to Crush, we can choose between flattening the sound and just completely annihilating it, or we can choose to add Punch here, and I'll show you what those two sound like in a second. And then we've got Dirt here, which is basically our saturation, and we can actually double down on that Dirt by flipping this switch here. So we can have double Dirt, which is absolutely my favorite function of this plugin. And then we can just get rid of some excessive high end that we're creating with that Dirt. We can blend it in using the mix knob, and there's an output function over there. So it's super simple, but let's just hear it in action. Let's add some punch first, and let's dial it in from scratch. Here we go. So I wasn't kidding, right? This is not a subtle plugin. This is meant to be extreme here. Tons of punch there, but we can also flatten the sound and kind of go for more focus on the sustain and bringing up every, basically all the sound in between the drum hits there. Like I said, this is not a lame, like, subtle plugin, okay? This is extreme, and bring up a lot of room sound there. The other main function here is Dirt, of course, so let's see what that sounds like. It's already kind of dirty, but I really love that double Dirt here. Let's check that out. That's so nasty. I absolutely love that. Dial back some of that top end. Let's add a bit of punch. There we go. Now let's compare that with the sound that we started with. I absolutely love how creative you can get with this one, and it's super fast because it's just two main controls there. So have fun with that. This is what that lo-fi intro sounds like right now. I just love the contrast there between the overcompressed, super saturated intro and then the more like clean, I guess, main mix there in the main song. So that's one way to use it. The other way to use it would be just on room mics, which is another one of my favorite ways to use this plugin. I'm already using it in this mix, but I'll just show you the room mics in solo here so that we can really see what is going on here. Mixing the room mics with Telos drums, and I'm already compressing them quite hard. And I'll show you what that sounds like. And with no compression at all, it sounds like this. So we're already bringing up quite a bit of sustain here by doing this amount of compression. And I enjoy that, but I want to go even further here. So let's bring in CR1 here. I'm just going to dial this in from scratch really quick so that we can see the process in action. Here we go. Okay, let's dial it in from scratch here. Probably want to go with a little bit of flatten a crush here so that we get more sustain and less attack. I don't need a lot of attack on the room mics. That's what the close mics are for, and the samples and everything. So I'm looking for sustain here. So flatten the crush here, and this is good. Now let's add some Dirt to it. Probably just want to go with double Dirt again. I love that. Now it gets really crunchy and I really enjoy that. Probably want to take out a bit of high end. because I don't really want those cymbals to become super crunchy here, so that they're gonna start clashing with our main cymbal sound that's coming from the overheads here. And now I guess that's just what I'm looking for. Let's check that in the full drum mix actually. Let's listen to all the drums here. What you should be listening for is basically the sound in between all these kick and snare hits. I'll actually crank the room mics up a little bit so that you can have a better idea of what's going on here. So this is with Crush bypassed. So the more dirt I add, the more I start to love this. It's just over the top room mics right now, which is adding a lot of length to all the drum shells, which otherwise sound fairly short and attacky, right? Just like duck. But with Crush engaged on the room mics, it's just giving a lot of like length to that snare drum, for example. And I really love that. I love how it's like an extra kind of push in your drum mix in this case. Absolutely love that. Let's check out another example. So I'll load up another Pro Tools session here to check it out on vocals, which is completely different. Okay, so check it out on vocals now. We're kind of staying in the rock umbrella here. Let's hit play.
She's all I want. Could I ever ask her more? I never felt this way before.
So again, it's pretty over the top, right? Which is, again, the point of this plugin. Let's dial it in from scratch here so that you can see what I'm doing here. Let's change everything back to default and let's see what the vocal sounds like without.
She's all I want. Could I ever ask her more?
It's not really as consistent as I would like a lead vocal to be, because I feel like if we put this in context of the full mix, he's kind of gonna move forward, back and forth in the like front to back imaging, and I don't want that. I want him to be up front at all times, and so we're gonna crush him probably with some punch here.
She's all I want. Could I ever ask her more? I never.
And the fact that it's more consistent volume now between all these different words and syllables is also going to help him to stay like right up front in this mix here. So compression is not only just to kind of equalize the volume between all the words, but it's also to kind of stabilize the position that he takes up in the mix. So love that. But I'm also finding that this vocal is kind of on the thinner side, is kind of scooped, not as much weight and body in the mid-range as I would like him to have. So let's add some dirt to it. Let's start with regular single dirt and see how far that takes us.
She's all I want. Could I ever?
Nah, it's not fair enough, right? So let's take it further.
She's all I want. Could I ever ask her?
That's more like it. Now the dirt is actually adding a lot of mid-range character to the sound as well. Maybe it's even a little bit too much, so.
She's all I want.
And we can maybe shave off a little bit of the top end here.
She's all I want. Could I ever ask her more?
That's pretty much what I'm looking for. Let's put that in the full mix with our reverb on there as well.
She's all I want. Could I ever ask her more? I never felt this way before.
As soon as we bypass the plugin, immediately the vocal gets thin and kind of harsher. And so with the dirt here, it's not only giving us more body and more I guess weight in that mid-range, but it's simultaneously kind of cleaning up that harshness in the mid-range. And of course with the crush, it stabilizes the position that the vocal takes up in the mixer. So a lot of benefits here. For example, could you ever ask for more? That word more kind of fades in when the plugin is bypassed, but as soon as the plugin is engaged, he just stays right there, completely in our face, which is what I want from a lead vocal, right? So
could I ever ask for more? I never felt it.
That was with the plugin, and that was stable, and now with the plugin bypass, so that it kind of fades in. Could I ever ask for more? I never felt this way. it's just not as clear, right? So compression is doing a lot of good here, and the dirt is adding a lot of weight and character to the sound here. Now, if you want to use it to the more extreme side, of course, which is what this plugin was designed for, we actually have these two lines here kind of announcing the chorus. Let's hear them. And what I'm doing here is, again, I'm just using the double dirt here all the way to the max, adding all the saturation and doing a healthy amount of crush as well, so that we really get that almost like an old school lo-fi sound going on here.
With the smile she seduces, with the charging confuses me.
It's so over the top, right? Which is exactly what we want to accomplish here. So I hope this video sparks some ideas on how you can use CR1 in your mixes. I'll see you in the next one.